So this trip was really short. We only booked one night in this hotel, which by the way was $208 if you're wondering. Well, to be honest, although the city is beautiful, there's really not a lot of things to see or do here because the town is really not that big. We pretty much saw everything there is to see in this town yesterday. Well, except for a few other places, like the Old Mission of Santa Ines, a bookstore museum, and the Elverhoy Museum, which we all plan to see today. But before we go to those places, we're going to have breakfast first. Alright, so we're leaving right now, right? Well, not yet actually. We're still gonna do some stuff before we go home. So what are we gonna do?
We're gonna have breakfast, and then
we're gonna have breakfast.
Go to other sites. I already forgot.
I think we're gonna go to a museum. And
what museum? Oh, we're gonna go to the Mission.
And go to a place called Mission.
No. It's the
It's called the Mission.
Santa Ines Mission.
Yeah, it's a Santa Ines Museum. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have lunch.
And then lunch, yes.
Yeah. So first we're gonna go have breakfast. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we got everything packed up and we're ready to go. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have to find a place to have breakfast first though.
I already know where we're gonna have breakfast. We're gonna have breakfast at Solvang Restaurant.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Solvang Restaurant. Solvang Restaurant. Solvang. Alright, let's go. If you've seen my past two videos, we kind of followed and went to locations in the movie called Sideways, and I believe this restaurant was in the movie as well. Although I don't think the movie had anything to do with this restaurant's popularity, but this place is famous for serving traditional Danish food, and the Aebleskiver or Aebleskiver, which is one of Denmark's top traditional food, and it's the reason why all these people are lined up here for. So looking through the menu, which is by the way a mix of Danish and American dishes, I actually found it difficult to decide what to get, even though I know I'm going to get something Danish. I mean, they don't have that many entrees, but they do have plenty of sandwiches, which I didn't consider at all. Well, for sure, we're definitely going to have the Aebleskiver, or Aebleskiver, or whatever the hell you pronounce it. And we also ordered a side of Danish sausage. So for me, I decided to order the Danish style meatballs, and chose a salad to come along with it. And for her, she got the catfish with a side of clam chowder. First is my salad. It's surprising that there's a lot of people here, huh? There's a lot of people here. And this is her clam chowder. So regular salad with Italian sauce.
Italian dressing.
Yeah, Italian dressing. Surprisingly though, the orange juice is pretty good. How's your It's good?
It's soothing because of the wine.
I'm gonna try her what do you call this? Clam chowder here. It's nice and hot. Oh my god.
Hot, right?
Yeah. It's really good. You see, with the meal we ordered, we had a choice of either a salad or soup that came along with it. And I didn't know that the soup was clam chowder, because if I did, I would have definitely got this. Now I'm not sure if it came in a can or they made it from scratch, but the soup was really good and the clams tasted fresh. You got a Chardonnay. Put it in the glass or in the bottle. It's their local wine, right?
It's their house wine.
It's their house wine. So this right here is the Danish style meatball I ordered. You'll be surprised, but there are many types of meatball dishes all over the world. You'll find it in Asia, South America, the Middle East, and of course in Europe. So it's not really certain where it originated from, although many known recipes exist, like the Qin dynasty in China, dating back to 221 BC, and in the ancient Roman times. But the earliest known recipes came from ancient Persia, And because of that, many consider Persia as its origin. Anyway, going back to this Danish meatball, which has been a traditional dish in Denmark for more than 100 years, a lot of people associate this with Swedish meatball because they are quite similar. They even both serve them with gravy, but they are different. Like the size and the spices they use are different, and the most significant differences is that the Swedish meatballs are made with beef and the Danish meatballs are made with pork. Now, I'm not sure if catfish is a Danish traditional dish. I mean, it could be, because it's widely caught and farmed for food for hundreds of years all over the world, especially in Central Europe, where it's considered a delicacy. In fact, migrants from Europe and Africa brought this dish here in the United States, where it became really popular in the South. I think they deep fried them over there. Anyway, this one looks like it was pan-fried, and it's served with mashed potatoes, veggies, and Danish-style red cabbage, just like my meatballs.
Alright, let's start my, what do you call this? Meatball.
Danish style meatball.
Danish style meatball. Oh, look at that. See that? It's steaming. It's like a sausage, huh? Some gravy on it. Mmm. Hot. Yeah. It really needs a gravy. But the meat is pretty good. Yeah. The gravy, definitely the gravy. The gravy makes it. If it didn't have a gravy, it'd be like okay. Oh, the red cabbage. This one. What's so special about this?
Danish input.
It's a sauerkraut. It's sour, but I like it. I like it. Came with some mashed potatoes. I like the veggies. Yeah.
What sauce is best for you?
It's okay. Oh my god. The meatball is really hot. But these are catfish. I'm gonna try it. Could be a little too big. Wow. Yeah, the catfish is really good. It's flavored really well. It's like, yeah, the flavor is really good. I don't know what the hell they put on top of this, but it's really good. It's really garnished well. Or I should say, it's seasoned really good. Here, have some meatball. You can have some gravy. You got some gravy. It's alright. I mean, I've had a meatball like in Sweden. It was really good. Swedish meatball is pretty good too. They had better. But it's still pretty good.
So the meatball, like I said, tasted pretty good. But if you're gonna ask me, since I've had the Swedish meatball before, I think I like the Swedish meatball better, all because it's more flavorful. But if you're gonna ask me what's the best meatball dish I've ever tasted, I would have to say the one I had in Greece, or I should say she had. No, that one I remember was really amazing. Anyway, about the catfish, I have to say, if I had a chance to go back and choose which dish to order from this restaurant, now that I've tried these dishes, I would definitely order the catfish. It was really flavorful and cooked perfectly. It was really good. How about the sauerkraut? Do you like it?
I'll eat it right now, but I probably wouldn't order
But
it.
you won't eat it.
So this is the Danish sausage, and this is Danish mustard to try with it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So first of all, looking at this, considering the price and the size of the sausage, I was expecting them to give us at least 2 pieces. But what can I do? That's how they serve it here. Anyway, trying to distinguish European sausages, especially the ones in Poland, Germany, and this one, it's quite hard if you're not an expert. I mean, I don't have a problem distinguishing the chorizo in Spain versus the longanisa in the Philippines. But somehow most European or Scandinavian sausages are a bit difficult because they pretty much look the same and they somewhat taste the same. Well, at least for me, because I'm not an expert. But this Danish sausage, or medister, if I'm pronouncing that right, is made of pork and lard, seasoned with onions, allspice, cloves, salt, and pepper.
Let me try this. The Danish sausage. Let's try this. Yeah. It's a lot of like, what do you call that? There's a lot of like ingredients, like spices. There you go. There's a lot of spices in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, this is like mustard. This is actually pretty good. The sausage is pretty good. Yeah, the sausage is pretty good. I like it. I like it. Oh my god, it's pretty good.
You're gonna like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good with a yeah, that sauce.
Kind of like honey mustard.
Yeah, it's good, huh? Yeah, this is really good. A little bit too expensive, but yeah, it's like $5. Oh, we were hoping there would be more than one. We were hoping there would be like 3 or so, but for $5,
Still good.
yeah, it's still good. It's still good. But
Only because we're
if I didn't know the taste, I probably won't order it. But if I know if it's only one sausage and I didn't know the taste, I probably won't order it because I think it's too expensive. But because it's really good, I think it's worth it. So all in all, if I were to rank this meal, the best dish for me was surprisingly the sausage, and then the catfish, followed by the meatball. But I think if one day you end up eating at this restaurant, I think you won't go wrong ordering anything on the menu. Just based on the dishes we had, I think the food here are all good. So after eating and enjoying our meal, we finally come to what this restaurant is famous for, the Aebleskiver, as I like to pronounce it. The Aebleskiver is basically a Danish snack which means apple slices. It's funny, but you won't find slices of apples in today's version of this dish. But according to what I've read, they would slice apples, wrap it in dough, and fry it in fat or butter, so that they could consume the apples before it goes bad. Nobody really knows the origin of the Aebleskiver, although one popular belief is that it came from the Vikings who wanted pancakes, so they used their shields and helmets to make it, resulting with its round shape. Anyway, the Aebleskiver today, which originated in Denmark, is basically just like pancakes, usually cooked in cast iron pans. The batter is made of buttermilk, milk or cream, eggs, sugar, and salt. Then it's poured in a cup-shaped pans, just like the ones they use for making Japanese takoyaki. And then they top it off with raspberry, strawberry, or blackberry jam, and then they sprinkle it with powdered sugar. So like I said, it's just like pancakes.
Yeah, it smells really good. Okay, I'm gonna try it. It's like a pastry. Look at that. Yeah, it's kind of fluffy. I thought it was gonna be something like cream that's gonna ease out, but no. This is like strawberry, right?
Raspberry.
A raspberry. Kind of berry. Alright, let's try it. It's nice and crunchy and soft inside. And then the flavors, man, the sweetness. It's not too sweet. It's actually perfect. It's like a pancake. Oh, it is a pancake? Man, this is really good. Really good. I like it. I really like it. The jam, whatever the hell this sauce is, pretty good too. Amazing.
Try your scooter.
Aebleskiver.
So after trying the Aebleskiver, now I understand why people fall in line for this. And considering that I don't really care much about sweets, I found it absolutely amazing. It's definitely better than a regular pancake. You know, before I came here, a friend of mine at work told me about this dish. She said that I shouldn't leave Solvang without trying the Aebleskiver, and I have to say she's right. It's that good. After eating and leaving the restaurant, we walked around a bit to check out a few stores and shops around the area. Just like I said in my last video, they have a lot of different kinds of stores here, and most of them, if not all, are catered to visitors and tourists. We're gonna go to the museum now, right?
No, the Mission.
The Mission. We're gonna go to the Mission. And we just ate. We just came from that hole. So we're gonna go to the Mission. So this is the main street right here of Solvang. Yeah. And this right here is the Mission. So we're gonna head down there and see, or pretty much just check it out, right? We can go inside, right? Yeah. Okay. The Old Mission of Santa Ines, which is named after Saint Agnes of Rome, was a Spanish mission located here in Solvang. Now you're probably wondering why there's a Spanish mission here in Solvang, because everything about the city of Solvang is Dutch. I mean, the city is dubbed as the Danish capital of America. Well, the reason why this mission is here is actually simple. It was already here before the Dutch founders established the city in 1911. You see, the mission was founded by Father Esteban Tapis, who was a Spanish missionary from Spain in 1804. This is when California was still very much part of Mexico, by the way. Well, the purpose of building the mission here was to help the mission of Santa Barbara and the mission of La Purísima Concepcion from overcrowding, as well as serving the Chumas people, who were Native Americans living in the central and southern coast of California during that time. Ironically, an incident involving a Spanish servant who overheard the priests here talking about killing off the Chumas people and alerting them of the plan, had his tongue and feet cut off and burned to death. Well, that incident was very significant because it started the Chumas Revolt of 1824. The revolt, if you don't know, is basically the largest organized resistance movement during the Spanish and Mexican period in California. Anyway, despite going through wars, fires, and natural disasters such as storms and earthquakes, the Santa Ines Mission is one of the oldest surviving structures here in California. It is designated as a National Historic Landmark. What does it say? Oh, there's a museum in here. So, just found out. Well, she asked me, why do you think there's a Spanish mission in this Danish city? Or this Danish town, I should say. Well, turns out that this place, this mission, was here first. Before they built the Solvang. So, I guess the Spanish came first before the Danish people, basically. Where do we start? Okay, the entrance is right here. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. See the wine fields out there? Really nice. So it goes around this way. I don't know what this is. It's like maybe the first wall. Let's see what it says. That's the original arch. Let's go this way. It's kind of hot today. This mission is actually pretty big, huh? This place is really big. Nice fields out there. We ended up taking a tour of the museum, which was $6 a person, and this is what you'll see. Oh. So we took the tour and see what's inside this mission. Tour begins here. Wow, look at that. It's not like this anymore, huh? It used to be like this before.
Yeah.
Look at this, it's a confessional box. Oh, look at that bell. The bell's old. Looks like the American Indians used this. They actually kind of built this, huh? See? The American Indians. They built the church. It's interesting. Here's this room. Wow. Those paintings. It's like hymn book. Like hymn.
A Latin missal.
Oh, what?
Latin missal.
What is that?
Missal is the book with all the readings in it for the mass.
Oh, really?
But it's in Latin.
Looks like this is like a piano chords, though.
Looks like this. Oh, it's liturgical music. That one.
Okay. So like tools, more tools. Got some pottery. Okay, next room. Oh, it's like a wardrobe of the priest, huh? Oh, this is nice. These robes are probably old, huh? 1864 to 1902, it says there. This room. That door looks old too. What is this? It's like prayer room, kind of. What did it say? Oh, here we go. Let's see what it says.
This is the Madonna Chapel.
Oh, it's a chapel. It's the Madonna Chapel, yeah. Madonna with child. Oh, that's the painting. This is the church. So this is the actual church. I like the floors though. It's like a little old. Oh, look at this. This church is big. I'm gonna walk in there. I'm gonna walk to the altar. So that's pretty much what you'll see if you take the tour. It's seriously not that big. As you saw, the museum houses a collection of artworks, tools, artifacts, documents, and manuscripts that were used in and around the mission throughout its history. You know, over the years, many people have preserved and maintained this mission. Parishioners and non-parishioners are largely responsible for restoring this place. In fact, the mission doesn't receive any state or federal funding. It's basically from fundraisers, donations, and the museum fees is where the mission gets its funding. You know, hopefully people won't stop supporting this mission because it's very much part of California's history. Some people praying in there. Wow, it's a garden. Leads to the garden. This is... feels like I'm in Spain, huh? It's kind of crazy how architecture makes you feel like you're in a different country, you know? Well, right now I don't even feel like I'm in California. And then now I'm like in Spain. Water's a little dirty though. But architecture is amazing. I like it. It's beautiful. So we came from there, and just right here, I think it's the cemetery. So there's a legend, excuse me. Right here is the cemetery. I guess this is as far as we can go, I guess. Huh? You can walk over there? Because it feels like we're in hollowed ground or something. Feels kind of eerie walking on somebody's grave. Try not to though. But we want to go here just because we want to check out the bell. Oh no, there's more. The kids are just stepping on the grave. Feel bad.
I think we can exit the other way.
Okay, you want to go around? Okay. Okay, now we're heading out. Where are we going? Just outside, huh? Let's see. Go ahead. What's in here? It's a chapel. This is the parking lot. That's where we exit, basically. I guess that's it. The weather is kind of nice. It's hot. If you're under the sun, it's really hot, but under the shade, it's nice and breezy. You probably can't hear me from the wind, but we're gonna go here. Just in front of the mission, which I've been pointing out earlier, you'll see this. I just thought of checking it out because the scenery looks amazing. Now I'm not sure what part of the mission is this, but it looks like a small cemetery. I remember seeing only 2 graves and I have no idea who it belongs to. Anyway, we stood here for a few minutes looking at this view, and it just made me think of how much land California has. Actually, if you think about it, America as a whole has so much land. I've read with a population of more than 310 million people, 47% of the United States remains unoccupied. That's basically half of the country. I mean, America has more than 2.4 billion acres of land, which means more than 1 billion acres of land are unoccupied. Now that's crazy if you think about it. It's actually really nice up here. Anyway, from the mission, we came to this bookstore. Okay, this is the next stop. It's a museum actually. What is it? The museum is called?
It's a bookstore, but on the second floor, it's a museum for Hans Christian Andersen.
Okay, it's actually a bookstore, but like what she said, the museum is for Hans Christian Andersen, who's a famous author.
A Danish author.
Or a Danish author. Okay. We decided to check out the museum, and surprisingly the entrance is free. So this is what you'll see inside the Hans Christian Andersen Museum. See what's inside this place. Oh, that's probably him. Was it free?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hans Christian Andersen was a Danish author known for writing plays, travel literature, novels, and poems. He's actually best known for his fairy tales, in which he wrote 156 stories across 9 volumes. His most famous fairy tales are The Little Mermaid, The Emperor's New Clothes, Thumbelina, The Ugly Duckling, The Red Shoes, The Princess and the Pea, and many more. You've probably heard and read most of the fairy tales and not know it's him that wrote it, but his stories inspired plays, ballets, as well as animated movies. Anyway, he's a very famous figure in Denmark, which is why his presence here in Solvang is quite significant, and this bookstore is all about his works. We didn't stay that long in the museum because as you saw, it wasn't that big. So we walked back at the Solvang Plaza, as I like to call it, and ended up coming across this. It's a sculpture of a clog or shoe she was looking for ever since we arrived here. I don't know why she wanted to see this. I think she saw it on the internet and became fascinated by it. Anyway, you'll find it sitting right in front of this shoe store. So this is the clog that she actually wants to see. I don't know, it's just because she wants to see it. It's sitting here right in the plaza. You're gonna put your foot in it? I'm trying to go inside the clog. And of course, she had me do this, because she thinks it's funny. Anyway, we walked around the plaza looking for sweets and souvenirs to bring back home to her family. We actually ended up getting a few Danish cookies and chocolates, and she also got me a Solvang t-shirt. I guess that's it, right? We're just gonna go to one more museum. So where's that located? Okay, so we're gonna get the car and go to that museum. Alright, this is it. Our last stop. We're not gonna go in, we're kind of tired. We decided to just come here and just check it out. It looks pretty small, but yeah, that's it for our trip here in Solvang. This museum is called the Elverhoy Museum. As you can see, it's a house, which is the former residence of Solvang's most artistic family. It was converted into a museum in 1988, dedicated to the history of Solvang and the heritage of Denmark. Well, we ended up not going in the museum because we're pretty much done for the day because we still had a 4-hour road trip ahead of us going back home. So for more than a year without traveling and filming, coming here in Solvang was a really nice break for the both of us because pretty much all we did is go to work throughout this pandemic and we really missed traveling. Hopefully soon we'll be able to travel again. I mean, we could travel if we really wanted to, but we just don't want to take a chance since most countries, especially in Europe, consistently change their travel rules. So we decided to just wait until everything goes back to normal, or at least close to normal. So far we haven't planned anything yet, but if we end up going someplace local, I'll definitely bring my camera and film it. Oh, and before I end this video, I just want to let you know I didn't spend a single cent on this trip. She insisted of paying for the whole thing because it was her birthday gift for me. So I want to thank her for that. You know, I guess I have to agree with my friend at work. I'm a lucky man for having her.